First, a story about missed opportunities, chaka chaka, failure of constituted authority, Jamaican character, lawlessness, and entrepreneurship, all in one. This is the 60th episode of the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. Good day. Thank you for liking and sharing this podcast and for subscribing to the channel. We welcome your feedback and comments on this channel. Desmond Richards and Winnie Anderson Brown offer interesting insights here too. Now to Frankly Speaking, the commentary.
All you there sit down and eat your food and
Some of Jamaica's most favored attractions are not advertised by the Jamaica Tourist Board, JTB, not owned and operated by any licensee or franchisor, not standardized by a Tourism Product Development Company, TPDCO. Take the ones in St. Ann, Blue Hole, near the border with St. Mary, at Upton, a breathtaking water pit surrounded by a slice of dense, verdant tropical rainforest. Into this hole, people dive from all angles and positions or get pulled across it. It's run as a kind of free-for-all, which is part of its appeal. Then there is Little Duns River, a sliver of public beach with one of the tributaries of the famed Duns River, clattering down slope, loved by the adventurous. That has been closed. We will look back to it. And then there is a current craze, rafting on the White River just outside of Ocherias, under the White River Bridge. The atmosphere of this place is captivating and heady. There is at any one time a cacophony of booming sounds as a backdrop to these lively food shops, some with fish and seafood, alive only hours ago nearby, bars, and more recently assorted trinket sellers and manicurists. It's wrapped in chaos and disorder, from the entrance to the under-maintained road that accesses it all. You are besieged by young men seeking to sell you a ride. It comes from about US $40 to $70 a ride. And Jamaicans have been taking the bargain. Tourists too have been coming there by the busloads, especially from the cruise ships that come to town, and they have a wonderful time. There are two big problems. The entity that has long held the license to do rafting on the White River, Calypso Rafting, has essentially been pushed aside by the new aggressive operators who have taken things up a notch. The new operators have designed covered rafts, decorating them with flowers from the riverbank and draping the seats or backs with the Jamaican flag. It's a beautiful sight if you look beyond the need for proper disposal and cleaning of the river and parallel roadway. There are now too many of the raftsmen and raft hawking, and there are clearly dangers. Frankly speaking, Calypso Rafting Company, run by businessman and former politician Bobby Marsh, wants them gone. His business is now almost dead. The young men are going nowhere. They want a piece of the cruising pie too, and they treasure the independence they've tasted from running their own show and making US dollars. But frankly speaking, it can't go on like this. There's no insurance among them, no standards even of hygiene, no customer service skills, and no organization of calmly getting on a beautiful raft ride. TPDCO has, in the last few months, focused on it and wants to bring some order there. One of the longer established businessmen in that little area, Curtis, who runs Riverside Cafe, has been trying to get some order improve the aesthetics, and organize the men.
Yes. What is happening here right now is that rafting on the White River has been the best thing that happens to motorists. It's taking off, it's viral, it's worldwide, all around the world. Sometimes we have 3 or 4 cruise ships comes in the day. Calypso rafting cannot maintain that, cannot sustain that. They don't have rafts like us with the tops, the roofs. That is what everybody is gravitating with the flag, with the Jamaican flag. See what I'm saying? So we are upgrade right now. What is happening? We are upgrade right now.
There's about 20 men who have been registered with TPD, had some training, and they contribute to some kind of maintenance fund that helps provide 2 restrooms, among other things. The problem is there are now some 50 or so raftsmen and assorted hangers-on. The police have taken an interest too, saying this looks like a breeding ground for criminality and attraction for the wrong types. They have had to accompany TBD personnel on their visits. And here is where Little Duns River comes in again. That was a UDC property opened up under pressure for the people to have a free beach. And you know, there are not many of those. Mainly young men started to provide all kinds of services there and sometimes force people into accepting those services, whether or not you wanted them, such as being a guide or security or whatever. It attracted all sorts, and the police later determined that a gang was involved and extortion was feeding cash to a gang in a nearby hotspot community. Illegal concrete and wood structures started going up there, and parking was taking place on a dangerous bend on the main road across from Mystic Mountain. Then later last year, one youth was shot dead there. Police locked it down. It remains closed. Nobody had ever determined how it should be organized. It was just allowed to grow organically and chaotically and for man to eat the food. And White River is going in the same direction. Let me tell you, TPD has been there again a few days ago. Something has to be done quickly. In this case, though, frankly speaking, those now benefiting are prepared for a fight. Why do we allow these things to start, then to flourish, then to fill out with illegality, and we try to take them back? Where are the political representatives, the governors, the organizations that have the responsibility and are paid to take these things in hand, to organize them and their constituents, and to help create wealth and order in the space? On a different matter, but only slightly related, we'll come back to it another day. Frankly speaking, I don't know anyone who believes Desmond Mackenzie's reasons for the postponement of local government elections for the 4th time since the last holding in November 2016. Let's say this: local government elections have been treated as a matter of convenience for too long now. But after Parliament's 2015 action, we were entitled to believe that there would be some regularity to them to strengthen the country's democracy and allow people to change their local politicians at regular intervals. The PSOJ, the National Integrity Action, and CAFE point to the elections as a part of Jamaica's superstructure of democracy that should not be trifled with. Indeed, economic recovery and democratic practices are not inimical to each other and can take place at the same time. But we will come back to that another time. Now, here is Desmond Richards, journalist and founder of Rebel Radio Jamaica.
It is clear that none of the reasons advanced by the government for postponing the local government elections are valid. The economy, according to the IMF and the government, has recovered and is growing. During the last 2 financial years, this administration has collected nearly $200 billion more than it budgeted for from taxpayers. So money is available. And plans to convert Portmore into a parish should not prevent the holding of elections. No, it should not. Of course, we have had elections during the economic downturn, including the last general election. That was when the economy lost 13% of GDP. But apparently, Mr. Holness, whose mentor, the late Edward Seaga, suffered a heavy defeat in the 1986 local government elections, that 37 years ago, that is still on his mind. But why is the government hiding? This is a chance for it to test its record of prosperity. It has made the people prosperous and happy. So why not go to the people for a test of your performance? Instead, they are advancing reasons which can't stand up to the test of time for postponing the elections. So while they are thwarting the democratic process, we must keep our eyes on what is happening at the Integrity Commission. We know that the administration is upset with the commission, and the Prime Minister has promised changes. Let us keep our eyes on those changes, because we are not going to tolerate any tearing down at the Integrity Commission. We want the Integrity Commission to be independent of the political process. That is the type of Integrity Commission that we want.
That's Desmond Richards, journalist and founder of Rebel Radio Jamaica. And now, Winnie Anderson Brown, educator and health facilitator.
Most Jamaicans are familiar with the verse of scripture that says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." And we know that laughter is the best medicine. But I'm going to read a verse for you that I'm not sure many people are familiar with. And this is Proverbs chapter 26, verses 18 and 19. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, "I was only joking." I bet most people are not familiar with that Bible verse. Why is that important? We have often heard that what is joke to you is death to someone else. And that is true. And that is why it is very important to point out that it is not a good thing to make fun of other people. Jamaicans love that. When someone is very tall, we call that person tall man. When the person is short, we say shorty. We tend to reduce people to what is perceived as a disability or something out of the ordinary. And that is unkind. So someone who is blind is called blindy. Someone with one leg is called oney, or some such names. And people laugh. Let us not do that anymore. Be kind, not only in words and deeds, but with our laughter. I am sure that older people know this poem and young people should learn it. This memory gem, I should call it. Politeness is to do or say the kindest thing in the kindest way. Let us remember that this week and be kind to everyone. And when we laugh with kindness. Laugh to heal and not to hurt.
That's Winnie Anderson Brown. Thank you for liking and sharing this podcast. And remember, it just takes a click of that button to subscribe. On behalf of Desmond Richards and Winnie Anderson Brown, I'm Franklin McKnight. Until then.